right there. I finally got them.
U.S. made.
I'm more excited about these American-made cables. Dude, I bought these other ones. I mean, you bought them, the cheap ones before. They just crack.
Yeah.
China crap.
Yeah.
These are American-made right there. Cole did find them with a little bit of searching. We'll see if they actually do what they're supposed to do. All right, guys, this is a big day today. I've got Todd Becks with me. I've got Cole McDermott with me. And don't get stage fright. You're like holding your breath. This is gonna be a good day today. We've got 2 fields we're planting, guys. So here's the plan. 2 fields, and everything we're doing today is to kind of build up so that way we can start planting together more at the hunt club. We can start taking that hunt club and start turning in, maybe picking a few spots and eventually making prairies, maybe start planting some more switchgrass areas. But most importantly today is to teach you guys kind of from fertilizer to spraying to planting. And then each of you guys will be able to jump on the tractor. Each of you will be able to kind of get a feel for the 3-point drill we'll be using. We'll be using a Genesis drill, 8-foot drill. What we have at the hunt club right now is that big John Deere, guys. And as you know, it's just it's huge. It's a monster. It takes up a ton of space. We're looking at reducing some space, and having that 3-point is gonna be awesome because that's gonna allow us to, I think, plant a little bit quicker, even though we're gonna be about 2 foot shorter overall wise. But the fact that you can just lift it, turn, drop, and go is gonna be great. So we're gonna go through all the steps today. There's 2 fields that we're gonna be planting. One that's a 1/2 acre. I've already measured it out on Hunt Stand. I'll show you what it looks like. And then the other one is about 1.5 acres. It's that one that you mowed the last time they were here, and we didn't mow where that one green strip was, because I'm gonna put something different in that little green strip. So we'll stay out of there. But that way you guys know the sizes. The sizes are gonna come critical because then we know A, how much chemical we're gonna need, B, how much seed we're gonna need, because so many times the biggest mistake that people make is they put down too much seed. It's so easy to overpopulate, especially when it comes to like those really, really small seeds like brassicas. Guys, like remember at the hunt club last year in front of the trap area, there were some brassicas and they had bulbs. I don't know if you remember seeing those or not. But like one little seed like that can be like 18 by 18 inch square that it would take up. You overpopulate that, there's not enough juice in the ground for them to be able to get what they need. So let's go ahead and get started. What we're gonna do first, step number 1, is we're gonna go ahead and we're gonna fertilize, okay? You know what, I take that back. We're gonna go ahead and spray first. We're gonna get the spraying out of the way. It's not windy right now. Before we maybe start driving over the plants and damaging them with fertilizing, we might as well hit the plants right now while we can, while they're green, they're up. Right now the sun's just starting to come up, so they're gonna be sucking in, you know, whatever moisture is on them, so we get a good kill. Okay, so I'm gonna show you guys on Hunt Stand what we're gonna be, where sorghum's gonna go and where this Hunter's Haven's gonna go, okay? Hunter's Haven is a mix that you cannot put pre-emergent down. If you put pre-emergent down, it's not gonna germinate, it's not gonna come up. The sorghum seed is treated, well, it's not Roundup ready. So it's treated in concept, which allows it to get past that pre-emergent, and then it's up, okay? But it's not Roundup ready. So what we're gonna do here is this sprayer is pretty much doing about 20 gallons of water per acre. So we'll go ahead and, I'd rather be a little heavy on the water, okay, than to be short and run out. So we're gonna go ahead and fill this up with 50 gallons of water, so we have more than enough water to do what we wanna do. We'll spray what we want to spray in Roundup first, which is where the Hunter's Heaven's gonna go. And then we'll add the dual when we're out there. So then we'll just spray the dual and we'll bring a few flags. So then you guys will know, okay, this field is gonna be sorghum only. And then this portion of this big field is gonna be sorghum only. What's gonna be cool about this is gonna be the first time for you guys that from beginning to end, you're doing all 3 steps, okay? And there's not necessarily a rhyme or a reason. Like, listen, you technically, if you wanted to, you could plant first. Then you could spread the fertilizer, and then you could spray the weeds. You could spray the fertilizer first, then spray, then plant. It really doesn't matter, ideally, which, you know, kind of path you go. I like to kind of get the spraying done, then the fertilizer down. That way, then when we start driving on top of it, planting, whatever fertilizer sitting on the ground is also kind of being worked in when it's being run over, because we are not disking. This is no-till. We are 100% no-till practice because these are kind of hillsides. If we till and then you get a big rain, then you're gonna have a lot of erosion and all your dirt ends up going all down to the bottom, and then you have, you end up having kind of shitty, shitty soil. So this is pretty much all ready to rock and roll for us, guys. So we're gonna be spreading fertilizer next, but for right now, we have to, two things about this little sprayer. Guys, you know how to work the tractors. Both of you are proficient in driving tractors, so we don't need to kind of go over all that stuff too much. One person will help, whoever's gonna be doing the first spraying, one guy will wear gloves and we'll put the, spraying, arms out, we'll spray, then we'll put the arms up and we'll switch fields. Now, this is cool because this sprayer is by Crop Care. I love this little sprayer, and this is a foam marking system. So there's a little switch inside of there that you guys will flip on, okay? And when you flip that switch on, foam is gonna start coming out of these. So basically we've got two different fields that I'm gonna be teaching them in. This bigger one up here is about 1.5 acres. It's actually, 1.85. If you look on Hunt Stand here and you click on it, 1.85, but we're gonna take off this right corner, so I'm gonna save this for a little small plot. I'm gonna leave this Hunter's Haven because they just love the bed in it, and it's just great food for the whole season. So we're gonna start by spraying this one first with just Roundup. We're gonna make sure we have enough water in the tank to go hit this small 1/2 an acre of sorghum that they're gonna be planting, then we'll add the dual with the Roundup to finish this off. So spraying's first, and those are the two fields that we're doing. Here's the other one right here. That's the 0.5. Well, 0.45, I'm rounding it. Don't worry about getting up to the edge on everything. Like, don't swing it, just go straight up, stay off that switchgrass along the top, and then just keep, the easiest way to do this, well, there it's getting thicker. See how that, so then you should be able to see those as you're going. So what you're gonna do, Cole, is you're gonna go straight up, stop it, turn around, come straight back down. Don't do this, because by the time you go all the way over there, then you start losing where the dots are. So you're gonna go up, stop it, right. So now your foamer's working, so those are the dots you're looking for, okay? And now we're gonna step aside. You can back up a little bit to like this thistle plant for starting, and then you're gonna go about 4.5 miles an hour, and then this thing here should be around about 25, 30-ish. Let me know, I'll keep an eye on it too. All right, well, Cole's on the tractor right now. We just went over spraying. This field here is 1.5 acres. This is gonna be Hunter's Haven, and we're only spraying Roundup. Anything that's green right now, we wanna get killed back. So when we come back in later today and start planting, those plants are gonna die. And then when that Hunter's Haven starts to germinate, it's gonna come right through there, and this is gonna be a beautiful field with all kinds of food for it. So perfect day though. The weather is perfect. It's not very windy for spraying, so this should go real well. The soil's a little wet because we got that rain, but it's not enough to hamper what we're gonna be using that drill. So this is gonna be perfect. So you were spraying how many gallons per acre if you had a guess? About 25, so coming in a little heavy. Okay. And that was at PSI 25 at 4.5 miles an hour. Okay, so that's good. So we need to write that on this. We need to write this on a marker when we come back, so that way we're just a little bit more prepared. But this is the field that we're going to be putting the sorghum in. So we still have Roundup in here. So now we're going to be adding dual. But remember, if you buy sorghum that is not treated in concept, your sorghum's not going to come up. So it's super important that when you're buying your sorghum, if you want to be able to put a pre-emergent down first, you make sure that your seed is treated. So we have the proper seed. Todd's going to go ahead and grab the dual. We're going to go with, it's 32 ounces per acre. So that this is about 1/2 an acre right here. So just go ahead and put in about 16 ounces. Okay, perfect. So now we've got the pre-emergent and Roundup in. The Roundup's gonna kill anything that you see in this field that's green. The pre-emergent will get activated upon a rain. It will get worked into the soil, and that's gonna then prevent any additional weeds from coming up after we've planted. I'm standing here right now and I'm just like, I can't help myself to see this baby little oak tree. I mean, look at this. Little baby oak here, baby oak here. I wish they were over there so I could cage them. All right, next up, fertilizer. Anywhere. So this one, what you do is you reach out and you have to go. And guys, there's no rhyme or reason for this. You got to kind of see how far it's spraying, and you just got to feel it out and go. Noted. Start at the top and go like this. Yeah.
Go down.
But go crossways like this. Don't go up and down. Just go like this.
Yeah.
And then literally, right now the handle's closed. So what you'll do, guys, you'll get lined up. Let's say this is the field. You're going to go that way. You're going to get lined up. You can go a little faster if you want. You know, than the 4. Yeah. Okay.
5, 6.
And maybe instead of putting it all the way down, put it only about halfway. This is all going in that 1.5 acre field. So you're better off finishing the field and be like, okay, I got this much left. Maybe I'll drive up the center and go down the edge or something like that. You know what I'm saying?
So that's all for that first field.
This is all for the first field. Then you'll go to the second field and you'll load it. So what I'll do is I'll hold back unless you want me to come with. You guys handle this? And I think you can handle this. And then you'll go to the smaller field. Then you'll load it with that. Okay. And you'll go. You know, but don't go all the way.
No, until you start seeing.
Right, and you'll see it, and then the little more power you give it, PTO-wise, the further it will go. So you just got to kind of see where it's last hitting.
Your PTO, though, is on and off, right?
It's right here.
Yeah, but it's either on or it's off.
Right.
You mean RPMs?
Yeah, right. When you put up your RPMs higher, then it's going to shoot a little
farther. Right. So you got to feel that.
You just got, listen, there's no art to this.
That's fine.
You know, it's just, or I shouldn't say that. There's an art to it, and it's just feel. Yeah. And it just, you know what, like it just takes you a couple times doing, you'll get the hang of it. The best thing always to do is don't go full open.
Right, no.
And then you're like, oh man.
Shit, I'm out.
Right.
Yeah, no.
So that's what you do. Little more. That's because you're on that metal over there. Just turn your wheel. Might come off it. Other way, try the other way. There you go. Now back a little bit. Up. This thing's heavy. Yeah. We are on the third phase, the planting phase. So this is where you guys are going to learn really the most. So with this particular drill here, no-till drill, and there's 3 basic main settings you got to worry about, okay? First one's down here, okay, which is your depth, okay? So this is basically 1/2, 1 inch, 2 inch. For this seed here, we're just going to go ahead and leave it on 2 inch is what we're going to do. The sorghum, we're going to change it down to just 1 inch. Okay, although you could probably get away with planting the sorghum at the 2 inch too, but we'll see what the soil conditions are like once we get over there. Things are starting to dry out. It was still a little wet and just a little tacky. It's not like perfect, but for what we're doing here, it'll be fine today. Okay, and if you loosen this like this and you kind of just feel it, okay, you can feel when it's all the way kind of closed versus open. So, you know, 0 would be like for really small seeds, guys. You know, I'm going to leave this on 2 because that's where I've had the best luck with it, right about there. Okay. And what we'll do before we take off is we'll put some seed in here and I'm going to twist it and I'm going to show you a seed coming out. Okay. So that way you guys will know. But what we'll do, and then the third thing you need to worry about is this over here. This is the drive shaft. Okay. This is what you'll need the chart for. Okay, so this here, you basically loosen these here like this.
Yeah, but just here.
Oh, geez.
Yep.
Todd must have did those. Todd's always got everything tightened down. And then you're able to move this deal here, and if you look really close, you can see the little line right there. There's a little bit of condensation in there. And I know for a fact 2 is going to be too small. 2 is probably the setting for sorghum. We're going to go ahead and wheel this baby just about all the way to 5. This Hunter Haven mix, they recommend about 25 pounds per the acre. What I'll teach you when we get back to the shop is actually how to calibrate it. So in this particular case right now, we'll go ahead, we're on 2. One mistake you don't want to do is have that, forget to check these 3 things and have that open, you pour it in and all your seeds running out. Been there, done that. But that's how you'll get rid of seed. Let's say you plant the whole field and you're like, okay, maybe I'll hit the edges one more time, although I know I already hit them, and you still got a little too much seed. You're either gonna bring the drill back, vacuum it all out, and then open it up, which is one way. Or what you can do is you can open up that lever, and then find somewhere on the road and just drive it and just get it all to come out. In here. I just absolutely love this. Okay, so the next thing that you guys gotta do, which is a really important one, is you've got to remember to lift these things up, okay? So now what you do is go ahead and lift these guys up. Make sure all those are off the ground. Get those done. What's wrong, Todd? So now what you can do is you can still come over here because we have this lifted up. And what I like, there's 2 things I like to do. If I have gravel around, sometimes I'll drag the drill in gravel and I can go back and see it. It's in the lines. In this case too, what you can do is just come down here, start giving it some turns like this, and you'll start to hear it. You hear it coming out? And there she's coming out all along there. Okay? So I have a feeling that 5 is gonna be a little hot. Okay, so I'm just gonna go ahead and back this down to 4 for right now. And then we're gonna just go and check to see what the chart says. But this is now locked down on 4. Probably be a really good place to get started. And this is what my drill's calibrated at. So you can see the gate is the thing that I taught you guys on the side.
Right.
Okay, this doesn't have the depth of the seed because the depth of the seed is based upon your soil conditions and the size of the seed. Super small seed doesn't have as much energy as a big seed, so it can't push through. So it's got to be a lot shallower. This particular seed, because it's a blend, probably could get away with 1 inch. I have it on 2 inch. The only reason why I have it on 2 inch because I know my soil here is kind of rocky. It's kind of, you know, it's kind of hard.
And it's pretty sloped.
We're sloped, so just having that extra, you know, depth is good, and it usually ends up kind of varying. Like the center of the drill, when it's planting, if you're on the slope, will be actually different than what the edges are. Okay, so in this particular case right here, we're gonna leave it on 2. The closest thing that I have to this is Hunter's Haven's right down here, and like a knucklehead, guys, I forgot to put what I had on here. So what I'm gonna really quickly do is Summer Release is another blend that I used to plant until Hunter's Haven came available. And when the gate was on 2, and the handle, when the handle was on 2 and the gate was on 2.5, it was 55 pounds an acre, okay? This is only recommended at 25 pounds per acre. Right now we have it on 4, so we need to back this thing. We need to back this baby off to about 2, is where we're gonna wanna be, okay? Yeah, we'll go 2 because I don't mind this being a little heavier, and I have another extra bag of it, and I like to have this heavy, okay? And we'll check as we go to see how we're doing. This is gonna be your first pass, Cole. So you're gonna make sure the drill's level. We've checked all the handles. Did we move this to where we wanted to move it to?
No, we got to move that to 1.5.
You guys got to remember these things.
Well, I just reminded you.
I'm not sure that's how that went down exactly. We have this on film. Okay, so we're gonna go ahead and start right here. Okay, on 2. Handles on 2. Yeah, I had it outside. So you're gonna pretty much make that first pass. You're gonna go all the way down. When you get to the end, you're gonna lift, turn around, set down, go. The number one thing, guys, you do not ever wanna do with a drill is make a mistake and go in reverse when the drill is down. If you do, you can plug up all of these tubes going back, and it's a real freaking nightmare. It's actually, on this drill, it's not so bad because it's coming from here, okay, up high. But on some of the other drills, you know, or like, you know, planters or something like that, if you go in reverse, man, you'll plug it, and it's a nightmare.
Because they're fighting against each other.
So you do not want to do that, and you don't want to be making aggressive turns either. You know, you do not want to be going like this, guys. And you know, you can do a rolling one, but you'll notice if you get out and you check a turn, it never seeds as well. You know, the little wheels won't close.
So
you know, opening.
This is going to be a down and back.
You're going to go down. You're going to come back, and you're going to go. You're going to make about 1, 2, 3, and then you got a nice fat turnaround spot here. Then you can turn around and you can go up, then go 1, 2, 3, and then go like this. Is ideal. Now, if you were planting corn here, you don't want the corn rows ultimately coming down because this is a slope. If you get a lot of rain, it wants to chase it down, you get more erosion. Ideally, when you have hillsides like this, you want to go perpendicular to it, is what you want to do. All right, a little faster. Push it forward a little bit more. The drill, yeah, it needs to go deeper. Now what you do is you always got to get out and see how you're looking.
Yeah.
And you can see that it is going down. You can see the dimples.
Yeah.
See them, Cole?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so go ahead and keep doing it. Stop. 6 feet too far that time. Come on back. Straight. Now hard turn. Straighten out your tractor. Right there. All right, that was Cole's first time planting. It's a lot. I mean, it is a lot to kind of get it all. But, you know, the thing I was trying to teach is when you're going up like this, Cole, and then you start crossing this way, like this, okay? What happens is you have to go past all the way back to this corner. When you lift, when you think you're here, you've missed this triangle back here every time. So you got to go, you'll be planting through the lines on your front right until your back passes it. Then you lift. But you did good. I mean, this is not easy. You know, it's the first time doing it. So we'll come back and we'll see how this goes. There's enough moisture in the ground. If we can get one more rain on this, I think we'll be sitting good. We put down just the right amount of seed for here. So this was a big field. It was 1.5 acres. And it's a feeling. You know, after you just do it more and more, you'll get used to it. And it is a little trickier when you're no-tilling into grass like this because you're really looking for those wheel marks and where the drill has kind of flattened it. You know, if you're going right into disc ground, it is a little different. But otherwise, I think this went real well. The Hunter's Haven's planted. What Todd's doing now is he's prepping the drill. If you back up here, Cole, to the notch. What we're doing here, it's because I forgot the plates. We're taping every other one because we want the sorghum to have a bigger spacing. We're going to go to the other field now. And that's where we sprayed both Roundup and Dual. The seed that we're planting from FS is straight sorghum. It's over there in that bag. That's treated in Concept, which protects the seed from the pre-emergent. That's going to give us better weed control into the season. Sorghum is great, guys. If you haven't planted sorghum, deer love it. Honestly, you hear everyone talking about corn, and they want to have corn because corn's the attraction. But I'll tell you what, if you get a good sorghum stand, which is a lot easier to plant, you don't need as big of equipment. You don't need as many chemicals. You can have just as good of a late season plot with sorghum. So try sorghum because it really does work extremely well. But Todd's got, what do you got? One more to tape off over there? So Todd's got a couple more to tape off. then we're gonna go ahead and put the sorghum in. Now what we're gonna do a little different with the sorghum here, so we don't have to vacuum a ton out, is we know with sorghum, we pretty much like to do 8 to 12 pounds an acre. So we're only gonna put in maybe a quarter of that bag, max, Todd, okay?
Right. Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And I'll meet you down there and I'll ride behind it, and then you've watched enough now to kind of get your lines, you know, down there. And we'll go and we'll plant that one. We'll have our sorghum planted. We've got our Hunter's Haven planted here. We've got a corn plot down below, followed by another corn plot, followed by a bean plot. So this piece of property has a little bit of everything. So with that being said, that's a lot that you learned today. All 3 steps, we took you through all 3 of them, planting with the drill. So hopefully you've learned something. And I'll do a follow-up in about 3 or 4 weeks to kind of show you how all these fields are progressing. With that being said, Brandon's got a lawsuit to file, so he's got to roll. Take 2, take 2. Cole, your barn door's wide open, Bo.
Well, I can't help it. I'm just trying to get some air for it.
No, you don't.